Hello, welcome back to Drippy Drez's channel. In today's video, I will be talking about how each of the Shrek movies have affected society. Before I begin, I just wanted to point out that I am well aware that there are so many people out there that are so badly affected by the when people talk, they tend to over-exaggerate part of Shrek 2, and that they were just about to watch this video and use it as an excuse to make themselves worse. Please don't do that. So, how were people affected by Shrek 1? Well, because it came out in the year of 2001, parents let their young kids watch it because they didn't want to admit that something that they learned in life was wrong. Due to the physical relationship part being an adult reference that obviously didn't go over children's heads, it inspired those children to not have thoughts or feelings. While this definitely would have helped them make friends in the 1950s, it certainly didn't in the year of 2001 or any of the years since then. This movie has also encouraged kids to not cut people off, even when people deserve to get cut off, as well as adults to get all fired up about their kids, their colleagues, and even themselves at the idea of cutting other people off. This movie has also contributed to sexism. So, how were people affected by Shrek 2? A lot of parents decided to let their young kids watch Star Wars and then SpongeBob and then Shrek's 1 and 2 right afterwards. Those same parents not only laughed at the physical relationship scene during Shrek 1, but gasped when Doris showed up on screen and then freaked out when she kissed Prince Charming. Their reason for doing that wasn't that deep, which is actually why those kids were negatively impacted. Watching Star Wars was one of the earliest experiences those kids had in life, which means they wanted that to speak to them. Star Wars is a very serious series, which is why to those kids, watching their parents freak out over basically nothing was the most traumatizing thing that could have ever happened to them. Some of those parents were either watching or had watched Rated X videos at the time they decided to watch Shrek 2 with their kids, and they made it very obvious throughout the entire movie that they weren't used to thinking clean. Some kids were confused at the scene where Shrek got manipulated by the fairy godmother. When they asked their parents if Shrek actually believed the fairy godmother, their parents responded, no, when people talk, they tend to over-exaggerate. Because those kids decided to hold on to the negative beliefs that they developed from watching Star Wars and SpongeBob, but mostly SpongeBob, they interpreted that as every time people talk, they over-exaggerate. Although the movie came out in 2004, most people still feel stuck from having seen it, and it's either because they haven't seen the movie that inspired it, or because they want to have a certain opinion, but just aren't sure about how to put it into words. Those of you who are thinking, oh, but it's a little kid's movie, you seriously need to watch the 2011 version of Arthur. So, how were people impacted by Shrek the Third? Most people want to have the opinion that the movie was pretty bad. There were some things that they liked about it, and one thing that really stood out to them was Arthur's speech, which is a scene that they're glad they watched and that they will appreciate more and more as they get older, even though they will never like the movie. Those of you who are thinking, yes, I'm one of them. Your personality is not going to change by you thinking like that. For those of you that need reassurance, I would highly recommend watching the 2015 version of Vacation, and then watching the live-action Lion King, and keep in mind the years that both movies came out. So, how were people affected by Shrek Forever After? There were some people that fed into how an older sibling would be affected by that movie. And how were people affected by Puss in Boots? Aha! Busted. There are some immature parents that raise their boys not only to feel uncomfortable in their masculinity, but who told their kids that not everything is about movies right before having them watch Shreks 1 and 2. Those same parents not only didn't have their kids watch Star Wars or SpongeBob, but also obviously never did anything that would cause their kids to start empathizing with everybody. Those boys obviously thought that what their parents meant was that it's okay for a dude to act feminine as long as he's not being flirtatious with a girl that isn't interested in him. When those boys decided to act feminine long over 2 weeks after having watched Shrek 2, those parents got all fired up even though there weren't even any girls around. Those same parents couldn't handle watching Puss in Boots and decided to go around complaining to other people about one of their kids, and the other people used Mean Girls as an excuse to enable that. Well, thank you all so much for watching. Feel free to hit that like and subscribe button if you haven't already. Feel free to leave a comment in the comment section below, and hopefully I will see you all next time.